Hi, everybody. Hope everybody is doing okay. And I hope you guys can see and hear me okay. I have the laptop on a stand right now because I am working on a shirt actually for myself. Hold on. I wanted to make my own Mother's Day shirt. I'm almost done with it, and I was gonna videotape this, but the thing is, we see so many of these shirts, so I figured, oh, there's enough videos out there. But if you guys want me to do one, let me know because I do plan on making another shirt for my girlfriend. So let me show you guys what I'm doing. It's those mom shirts that you see all over the place that a lot of people are doing. Um, what I did was I put mom over here in the corner, kind of like the block font. I know a lot of people use the script, but I kind of like the block. And then on the sleeve of the opposite end, I'm going to be putting on the sleeve, I'm going to put, it's going to be a heart, Carlito, another heart. I got the snowman sticker kind of covering it up. And then I'm going to have mellow underneath. And I'm putting it on the opposite end of where I'm going to have mom. I'm going to have mom here, and then I'll have the names on this hand and stuff. So I'm going to be doing this. But as I do this, because I'm almost done, all I have to do is just embroider this. As a matter of fact, let me just stop and I'll just well, let me put it on the machine. You could come with me and I'll put it on the machine. And at the same time, I could talk to you guys, okay? Because today's topic, I wanted to talk to you guys about embroidery machines. I am getting a lot of questions about embroidery machines. Some of you guys actually reach out to me because sometimes you see ads for certain embroidery machines. You don't know if it's a good buy or it's not a good buy. And you guys ask a lot of questions. Now, what I'm actually did was I wrote down a bunch of stuff that you need to be thinking about when you're looking into buying an embroidery machine. I am not affiliated with any brand, okay? Even though I do use a particular brand, but I'm not saying it's the best. I'm not saying it's bad either. I'm just saying there are a lot of machines out there, and I would not dismiss any of them, okay? They all do the same thing. They probably just got different types of functionality, okay? So I just want to make sure that you make the best decision for yourself, okay? Because there's so many options out there. So every time when people come to me and they say what machine I should get, I tell them it's the same question as if you ask someone what kind of car should I buy, okay? There's just so many different manufacturers out there. There's so many different models. Different models have different features. The choices are like endless, right? So sometimes you just don't know like really what to pick or anything like that. Now, I am going to tell you this, okay? The choice at the end of the day is yours to make. I think as long as you do your research and you know exactly what you want, and you don't rush into anything, and you kind of like make sure that you look at everything inside out, analyze everything, I don't think you're going to make a bad choice for yourself, okay? It all depends on a couple of things that you have to come up with, okay? So let me just hoop this real quick. So you guys that don't know, okay, what I am doing is I'm actually hooping this sleeve onto a fast frame. And this is the fast frame that I have right here. So I'm actually going to hoop this sleeve in here, and I want to see how it's going to come out. I think it's going to come out fine. I am going to have to clip it, but that's okay. Let's see. I want to make sure it's not going to touch the ends or anything. And yeah, I think I'll be okay. Let me just get some clips. Here we go. Just want to clip it. If I mess it up, oh well, it's my shirt and stuff. I'll just cut the sleeves off. That's all. I'll come up with something creative for me. You guys know how I do. Let me just put a couple of sleeves and little clips in here just to hold it in place. Not exactly like hooping it like the greatest, but you get tired and stuff. I gotta tell you, you get really, really tired. The other day, I was exchanging emails with one of you guys, with Kim, and I have to tell you, it was really funny because she wrote to me and she was like, I think I'm disturbing you, and I got a feeling she has no idea that she kind of like forced me to take a break that I really needed to take. Cause and I even emailed her back and I even told her, I said, I am totally exhausted. I have all these orders. And I did. I was just like, I was pissed off at myself because I took a rush order. Shouldn't have took the rush order because, I mean, I even charged like a high and I felt bad doing it, but I was tired, So I was kind of like, well, this is how much it'll be. And I thought the person would come out and say, oh, that's too high, forget it. But they were like, oh, that's fine. And I was like, oh, okay, okay. So I guess I got to do it now. So I was emailing back and forth, and I got to tell you, Kim, if you are out there, I appreciate you, girl, because you kind of gave me a break. I did. I needed that break really, really super bad. You have no idea. But anyway, let me just trace this and make sure, because I know I got this right on the hoop. And I'm just going to trace this really quick. I'm going to do my snowman like I always do. Oops. I cancel because I need to rotate. Right away, I was going to put the names upside down. See, I'm already exhausted. So I'm like, oh, girl, get it together. Get it together. All right, here we go. All right, so, all right, I'm going to do the snowman feature. I love that snowman feature with the stickers and stuff because it's like you just put it on the item and it scans it. And then it'll embroider it right where you want it. I was like, why wasn't I using this earlier? I should have used this earlier. And I just didn't do it. I was like, duh, it's like, I'm like, okay. So now while that is going, oh, it says, oh, done. Okay, hold on. Let me just get this. And this is going to make a lot of noise. So what I'm going to do is, I don't think this is going to work, but no, I think it'll be fine. It's going to be fine. Arrow Jeanette, just give it a shot. Give it a shot. Don't let fear get in the way. When things happen, they happen, right? Okay. All right. So it's going to be fine. All right. So I'm just going to smooth this down. It'll be cool and broader. Make sure it's picking the right colors, and it's not. So hold on 1 minute. I messed up. Okay. All right. It's not supposed to be that color. Okay. All right. That's supposed to be that color. That's supposed to be that color. Okay. Sync or die. 3 and 6. I'm good. All right. Okay. Sorry, guys. All right. So it's done. That's it. It's happening. All right. Got it on. All right. So let me talk to you guys for a minute. Now we're going to talk about, let me put you guys down while that baby's going. I'm going to talk to you guys about embroidery machines. Okay. But let's go to the other room because it's going to be kind of noisy here. And already you guys can see the kind of things over there. So I want to make sure that you guys, I wrote down a couple of things that you guys really should be considering when you are buying an embroidery machine. Okay. All right. Now, first thing you want to do, number one, and I figured this would help a lot of you guys out there, especially if you are thinking about getting a machine, right? Because there are just so many different manufacturers out there. So like I said before, it's like buying a car, right? So you just don't know. All right, so let's talk about some of the things you got to think about. All right, first of all, you got to think about your money. How big is your wallet? Okay, an embroidery machine can go from, I don't know, lately I've seen them for about like $800, and they can actually run to $30,000 to $60,000, even $80,000. Okay, they can go multi-high. The thing is, it depends on the type of embroidery machine that you're looking to get. Okay, usually the rule of thumb, people always say, hey, get the machine that has the biggest hoop, right? But I agree with that. But the thing that I also say is, why do you want this machine? What is it that you're looking for? What do you want to do with it? Do you want to go into like a commercial, full-blown business? Do you want to just have a small business on the side? Come on, Bello. Come on, boo boo. Come. Do you want to have like a small business on the side, or are you going to be a hobbyist? Are you interested in just doing gifts for your family and your friends, or are you really into doing hats and stuff like that? Okay, come. Or do you plan on doing hats and everything like that? You really have to think about, I love you too, sweetie. You really have to think about what type of machine you have, you want, and what it is that you plan on doing with it. Okay. So, those are the first two things that I had was how much are you willing to spend? Okay. And we both know that we pay cash, right? Yes, we do. Okay. Oh my God. Mello, you're melting my heart. You're melting my heart. Okay. So, yes, because Mello has to get his bones. I know. I love you too, sweetie. You're too cute. Oh my goodness, you're making a cameo today. You're such a good boy. I love you, boo boo. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm getting off track. I knew this was going to happen because I got so much going on and stuff. I got orders and I wanted to take a break from those orders because I wanted to do something for me. So I said, that's it. I'm taking that sweatshirt and I'm embroidering it for me. So hopefully it comes out really nice. Okay. And so I will go back into the room where there's more lighting and we'll look at the shirt and see how it came out. All right. So how much are you willing to spend? Like I said, there's a lot of it can be very, very hefty. Now, another thing too is there's a lot of vendors also when you buy these embroidery machines that they will come out and they will offer you like 0% financing. I actually take advantage of those because the way I look at it is, oh, I don't have to give you $15,000-$20,000 today. I can keep that in the bank so that it can earn interest, and I'll just pay $250 a month, right? So if you are able to get something like that, I would say go for it because why give them all your money, right? But a lot of manufacturers do that. They let you buy it on credit and all that kind of stuff. I think it's done. No, it's not. Let's keep going. Okay, so you know, if think about that. Think about your wallet and everything. Don't go broke over this, okay? Now, the other thing too is when you're talking about spending, right? A lot of times it's not just the machine that you're gonna have to think about. You're gonna have to think about all the accessories that you're gonna have to get with the machine. Some manufacturers, what they'll do is they'll give you the hat hoops, they'll give you the hoops, but sometimes what they'll do is they'll give you hoops that I'm going to tell you normally you don't use. Okay. They give you these plastic hoops. Now, I will tell you, I like to use my fast frames. I like to use my Dookie frames. I like to use my mighty hoops. So a lot of times when you get these machines and they say, oh, it comes with all the hoops and everything. Yeah, they're nice. They're hoops that you can use and they come with the machine. But the thing is, I kind of like the aftermarket machine, aftermarket hoops. Those are the ones that I like. So, to use. And of course, those cost money. They're not cheap. They really, truly are not cheap. So think about that, when you're thinking about spending money on an embroidery machine. You're not just going to be spending money on the actual machine. You're going to be spending money on the equipment like the hoops, the threads, the stabilizers, and all that stuff. Also, think about the type of space that you have in where you're planning on embroidering. Okay, do you have a whole room that you can dedicate to this, or do you just have a table, or a little space in your home? Sometimes the space is going to help you determine the type of embroidery machine that maybe you should be looking to get. Like for instance, if you don't have like I had an extra spare bedroom, in my house. It was a guest room. I turned the guest room into a sewing room, and now that, and then Cardito still has his. I will tell you this, a little secret. I am hoping that when Cardito finishes college and all that kind of stuff, and he says, "Hey, Mom, I'm gonna move in with my friends. I'm not coming home," I could use his room too, because that means that I can put a lot of stuff here too. But you know, I don't think he's gonna be going anywhere soon. I got a feeling after this May, he's gonna be coming home. So I gotta prepare for that. So think about the space that you have available for your for this. Okay. Sometimes people just have a table, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Because embroidery machines kind of come in two types. Okay. They come with multi-needle and they also come with flatbed. Now, I'm going to tell you, so a lot of people, they come out, they're always asking me about the multi-needles, but I will tell you this, flatbed machines are just as valuable as these multi-needle machines. Think about it. Oh, it finished. Just think about it. We're going to go right back to the sewing room where there's more light and it's going to be better. Yay. Okay. And I love my sewing room because I love the color yellow. All right. So, and this finished. So let's take a look at it and let me see how it came out. And I like it. Okay. So, taking this out. And yeah, kind of peeled it off from here. Let me show you guys how it looks. Oh, this looks cute. I just dropped something on the floor. Yay! Look how cute. Look how cute. We got a heart, Carlito heart mellow. And it says mom right on here. It says mom here. And then I have my sleeve. Ain't that cute? I love it. I saw a whole bunch of people make these and I was like, I want one for me. Okay. So now I got one for Mother's Day. So I'm happy. So I took time for me. Oh, this is really, really, really cute. I'll definitely take a picture. And oh my God, this is really, really cute. I love it. You know what I should have did if I had to do it all over again? Instead of putting M-O-M for mom, because that's what Cardio calls me, mom. I call my mom mommy. But I should have put the heart instead of the O. That's another thing I should have did. But that's okay. Live and learn, right? I mean, there's so many different ways. And I got a whole bunch of sweatshirts too. So I'll just make another one. And I'll do that. Okay, so now that I am here, and I got my book. All right, I'm in a good position now to finish this conversation with you guys, okay? And I finished my shirt. All right, so how much are you wanting to spend? What are you planning on doing? Okay, and when I mean by planning on doing is, you know, I think I told you guys, do you want to do hats? Do you want to do shirts? Do you want to do blankets? Do you want to do jackets and stuff? Do you want to do big designs or small designs? I will tell you, me personally, I know I have a couple of girlfriends that what they do is they do a lot of jackets, right? So they like to do like big, huge designs on the back of jean jackets. I don't like doing them because it's not that it's a bad thing. It's just that they take hours to do. Okay. The bigger the embroidery, the more dense the design, the longer that item is going to be underneath the needle of that machine, flatbed or multi-needle. Okay. And I'm not a fan of huge projects like that. They're so time consuming. And the other thing is, I'm going to tell you, people are cheap. Okay. They want the item and they don't want to pay. I see it all the time. Like they'll come to me and they'll be like, oh, Jeanette, I have this design and you know, I want it on the back of a jean jacket. Oh, really? Okay. Well, how much, you know, let me look at it. I look at the design. It's like close to 90,000 stitches and stuff like that. And then I'm like, damn, that thing's going to be under my machine for like 3 hours and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, well, that's going to be about like $250. And they're like, oh, that's expensive. Next thing you know, I'm like, okay, well, nope, don't want to do it. Okay. And I'm going to be honest with you. That amount of time under a machine, it's okay. But the thing is, I get tired of it. And it's like, I just don't like doing, it's not my thing. Okay. I just don't like doing really huge time consuming designs. Now, if you are in an area where people are willing to pay, then shoot. I mean, I would be like, I know I would. I'd be like, okay, Jeanette, get over it. To ching, trying to make that money. Okay. I would do it. Okay. But where I am, you know, I'm gonna tell you something. People can be really nitpicky, okay, and stuff. So it's just I just don't want to bother with it. So when it comes to really huge, large designs, I'm really not a big fan of, okay, unless it's something that I want to do for me. Then I don't have a problem with that. Okay. But the thing is, sometimes people just don't want to pay. Okay. So, that's the thing. Think about those things. Okay. Also think about like we're talking about the space. If you don't have a huge amount of space, obviously that is going to help you make your decision as the type of embroidery machine you're going to get. Because if you don't have the space and you get this huge embroidery machine, then the obviously the question is going to be, where the heck you going to put that thing? So you're going to put it, and you got to think about the actual space you're going to put it in. Okay. You can't just take an embroidery machine and put it in a garage or something like that. Temperature does play a factor in the machinery. Okay. You can't just, if you have a area that is very, very humid, very hot, that can really do a lot of damage to the machine. It can also do a lot of damage to your materials as well. So I don't recommend that. Okay. Because remember, you're spending a lot of money on these machines. So the last thing you want, okay, is to spend all this money and then all of a sudden you damage the machine. So you have to think about that. Now, I touched a little bit about the multi-needle and the flatbed, okay, but let me tell you something about these flatbeds that you see out there. There are huge flatbeds and they are very popular. Okay. Now I'll tell you one thing. These companies would not be making expensive flatbed machines if there was not a market for it. Okay. So don't disregard them and think that you have to get a multi needle machine. Like I said, it depends on what it is that you want to do. All right. And there are, you know, sometimes you don't want to do hats. And even though you can do hats, on a single needle machine. I have videos where I have done hats on my SC1900 and they've come out great. You have to kind of like think about it. So to me, I'm like, just look at the functions that each of the machines have and see if those are functions that you like or you think you will need. Okay. The other thing that's really big about that I always tell people is really look into the support of whatever machine it is that you pick. Okay. Make sure that that it is something that it can be supported like years from now. I'm not talking about today or tomorrow. I'm talking years from now. When you're buying an embroidery machine, that is one thing that I always tell people also is be careful who you ask about the machinery, okay? Because buying an embroidery machine can be like you walking into a car dealership with all used cars and you walk, it's the moment you step on their lot and you just peek in one car, it's like vultures just come on at you. And they're all telling you that this car is the best thing on earth, okay? That the old lady drove it to the Piggly Wiggly or every weekend, and that's why it's low mileage, and that it's never had an issue and all that kind of stuff. I mean, you will hear everything under the sun. So you have to be very conscientious of where you're getting your advice from. Okay. Is it someone that is trying to push a sale? Is it somebody that has some type of affiliation with that company? Is it someone, you don't know, right? So my whole thing is be careful when you are getting advice. Okay. I mean, I'm not saying don't listen, but what I am saying is be conscientious of it. Okay. Obviously, if they have some type of interest in that, if they have an insurable interest in that item, chances are they are going to try to push a sale. Okay. They're going to tell you that it's the best thing under the sun. But if you have someone that has no interest, has no bite in the game, whether there's a sale made or not, to me, you probably will get more of an honest opinion of that particular machine. Okay. Make sure you check the warranty of that machine, with the vendor. Make sure you ask about training and also make sure that you are getting truthful information. There are a lot of people out there that will give a lot of mistruths about certain other vendors and other machines. Okay. Like for instance, one that I hear a lot about is that, some people say, oh, you should get this vendor because this vendor has technicians that go to your house. Well, you know what? A lot of these vendors get technicians to go to their house. Okay. You can call a sewing machine shop, and there are a lot of machinists out there. Okay. Sewing repairmen out there that will go to your house. Okay. Now, there are also other sewing shops where you have to take your machine in for servicing, but not all of them are like that. Now, the one by me, if you want them to repair it, you have to take it in. However, though, I actually know a repair person that actually comes to my house on an annual basis and services all my machines on the spot. Okay. My husband is up there. Okay. He cannot pick up a machine and put it downstairs in my car and me driving it back and forth and me taking it upstairs and downstairs because we have all the machines upstairs. Okay. And we're talking about 3 multi-unit machines. There is no way that he can carry these 3 machines in there. Okay. When it came to the third machine, when I purchased the third machine, I actually had to get a moving company to come and get it from downstairs and bring it upstairs. It was probably the most easiest $250 they ever made. Okay. But the thing is, I did not want my husband to throw out his back. And I had this like vision where I could, even though he wanted to try, but I just saw this vision where he can accidentally trip. And then all of a sudden, I could lose my husband and also lose an embroidery machine, brand new embroidery machine. So I just prefer to just say, you know what? I don't want to risk it. So I just went and I hired a moving company to actually take the machine upstairs. But there are technicians out there. So that's another thing that you can do as well. If you live in a certain area, ask around, do your research, ask around and call sewing shops and look in your phone book for sewing machine repair shops and ask them, do you do house calls? What kind of machines do you work on? If I was to buy machine A, would you be able to repair it? What about machine B? And ask them also, what has been the type of machine that you mostly do repairs on? Because that could give you an indication that if they see that they do a lot of repair work on that machine, could be a bad thing and a good thing. Could be that, the good thing could be that, oh, well, then they work a lot on these machines. So if they have to fix it, I can call them and they'll fix it. The bad thing could be, oh, they work a lot on this machine. Could it be that machine breaks a lot? So you can ask them, if they say, yeah, work on it a lot, that ask them, well, what type of the common problems do you see on that machine when you work on them a lot? Is it because of malfunction, or is it because you're just doing maintenance on them, or are they simple fixes and stuff like that? Ask those things. Don't be afraid to do your research. And that's the one thing that I am noticing too. I notice a lot of people, what they do is they see someone with a certain brand and they just jump on that brand. They just go, oh, well, this person's using that brand, so I'm going to use that brand too. But the thing is, they didn't do the research on it. So the thing is, they don't know what type of functionalities on it, if it's going to be a machine that's easy for them to learn. Remember, everybody has their own learning curve. Okay, not everybody learns the same, and not everybody's comfortable with the same things. Okay, like for instance, I know there's some machines also that you have to have a separate computer to run them. I don't like that, but some people are okay with that. Some people think that's the greatest thing, and that's okay. But you have to see what fits you. What do you like? Okay. Me personally, I like the machines that I have. It's kind of semi-commercial. Could I get a full blown? Yeah, but I just really didn't have an interest in it. I just feel comfortable with what I have. And for what I want to do, it works great. Okay, because I'm not looking to open up a corporation or anything like that. I just want to run a little small business from my home. I don't want anything too big. I don't mind, turning orders down and stuff, which I do, especially now that I started this new scheduling method where I tell people I have to put you on my schedule. So, because the thing is, it got a little too overwhelming. So I have to actually tell people, okay, I can do your order, but it's going to have to be next month. And this is the day that I'll work on it. I actually do an appointment book now, which kind of really, really works. But last week, like I was saying, I really needed that break. That's why I was like, oh God, Kim, I hope you're on because I want to thank you so much. She gave me, it was just like a 5-minute break, but it was a break much needed. Okay. I got overwhelmed. So I'm telling you, lesson guys, when you have rush orders and stuff, sometimes just say no. Because I should have said no. Because I was just like, bleh, I was exhausted. Totally, totally, totally exhausted. But that's okay. But yeah, so think about what it is that you want to do. What do you envision? What is it that you have in your mind? Do you want to open up an embroidery corporation, right? And if that's something that you want to do, then okay, you got to think about when you're looking at these machineries, try to make sure that the investment that you make on that machinery, that it can actually fit that vision, right? That it's going to help you to do what it is. If you want to go down small, then you can look at the machines to make sure that's going to fit that vision. But if you're looking like something that you just want to just sell a little bit on the side, or you just want a very, very small business or something like that, then you can go flatbed, you can go multi-needle, you can go as as a 6 needle or a basic 10 needle. You don't there's so many different options out there. You have to make sure that you just pick the machine that's right for you. Okay, now the other thing too is there's just so many things that also, like I said, are kind of like told that really aren't true. Like for support, they say, oh, you can not a lot of there's not a technicians out there that go to your home. It could be true and it can't be, depending on your location. Okay, but you're not going to know if you don't do the research, right? So if you go out there and you find a technician that can work on certain vendors, that'll probably help you a little bit with your decision. Okay, the other thing also, think about repositioning hoops. Okay, like for the SC1900, it's a embroidery machine that has the 5x7. But you can get a repositional hoop that gives you the 5x12 hoops. Okay, so it doesn't make the design wider, it makes it longer. Okay, because what a 5x12 repositional hoop actually does is it takes the design and it breaks it down into two 5x7 hoops, right? So that's why you have the top and then you have the bottom. So it's the same thing with other machines too. They also have repositional hoops as well. So, but like I said, it depends. Are you all about the big embroidery? Are you all about embroidering the backs of jackets and big designs that are over 100,000 stitches and stuff like that? That's something that you have to think about and you have to know. Also, hats. Okay, hats is another thing that's pretty important. A lot of times people say, oh, machines can be kind of limited in dealing with hats. Nah, yes and no. I will tell you, I have 3 different hat hoops for my machines. Okay, I have the regular hat hoop where it's just the front. Then I have a brim hat hoop, which kind of gives it a little bit longer and it goes closer to the brim. Then I also have the wide hat hoop, which will allow you to embroider from ear to ear, okay, side to side, okay? So, there's a lot of machines out there. If you are really into the hats, you want to actually talk to them about the type of hat hoops that they have available for that machine and also its embroidery area. Okay, some machines have different types of hat hoops. I know with mine, I have 3 different ones: the regular one, the brim, and I also have the wide. They also have the generation 2 hat hoop as well. So there is just so many different ones out there. Okay, so the thing is, just do your research. You really, really, truly do. And this is another thing also. One of the things that I notice when I go on Facebook, marketplace, and all that kind of stuff, I see a lot of people are getting rid of embroidery machines. Now, it's not a bad thing. It's not that they're getting rid of the machines because the machines don't work or stuff like that. I think what happened was during the time and the area, of the pandemic, right? A lot of people were stuck at home. So they were looking for other ways to make money, or to pick up a second business or something like that. So what they ended up doing was they said, I'm going to jump on the bandwagon for embroidering, right? So they went, they bought these multi-needle machines and all that kind of good stuff. And then they tried it out and everything. Well, now a lot of people are starting to get back into the office, right? So now it's like everything's kind of, in a way, slowly for sure, going back into a norm, area. And people are now starting to find out, like, shoot, I don't have time to do embroidery, or they found out that this is not for them. Okay, that this isn't something that they want to do. Some people find it difficult, which to me, I'm really not surprised, because I've always said that in past happy hours. This is a skill set. Okay, this is not something where you just take something, stick it in a machine, press a button, and it works flawlessly. Okay, there is a lot of learning that goes into embroidery, and especially if you want to be good at what you do, and I'm talking about seriously good, you have to practice, and practice takes money. Okay, you have no idea how many hats I have thrown out because I was learning how to hoop my hats, how to properly stabilize the hats, and how to work the hat driver and the hat hoops on my machines. Okay, just learning the machines. I mean, and there's a lot of shirts that I destroyed, a lot of dinner napkins, towels, everything. So it is a huge, huge learning curve. And then it's not just running the machines, also. Just be, I am a machinist. However, I do know a little bit about digitizing, not enough where I can go around and say, hey, I'm going to digitize for you. Okay. I'm going to now sell digitizing designs. I don't know that much, but I do know enough that if I have to take a design and I have to tweak it a little bit or fix it, I can do it on my own. If not, then I'll just reach out to my digitizers, that do this professionally, and I know that they can do it really quick and make things really look good. So the learning curve to embroidery is really, really huge. And a lot of people have this perception that this is easy stuff, right? That anybody can do it. I'm not saying that anybody can't do it, but it takes dedication, okay? Because you really have to be serious about it, and you have to be willing to take the time and the effort to really learn the craft, okay? You really have to learn it. You got to learn your machine inside out. You got to know all the functions, what it does, how to work things. You got to learn about the different types of stabilizers and all that kind of stuff. So it's a lot. So because of that, I feel that a lot of people bought into all these machines because they looked at it as, wow, this is fabulous. They see a video and they go, oh my God, this is fabulous. Look at that. She put it under the machine. She pressed that button and look at that beautiful embroidery, right? But what they didn't know was that that person had to know about the right type of thread, needle, stabilizer, and all that good stuff before pressing that button. And it's a planning phase before actually doing that. Okay. So when they get their machine, they look at the machine, they're looking at it, and then sometimes a lot of times people tell me, oh my God, I got my machine and now I'm intimidated, and you got to get over that, and then they have that learning curve of learning the machine. Okay. Now, a lot of times people will, when you buy from a vendor, they do offer training. A lot of them do. They'll come on, they'll say, hey, I'm gonna teach you how to do it, but they teach you the basics, right? They teach you about the monitor, they teach you about how to turn it on, turn it off, and all that good stuff. And, I'm sure you're going to get like a manual that's probably this thick, okay? That most likely in the beginning, you're not going to want to read because you're going to be all excited because all you want to do is press the buttons, right? So you're going to be like, oh my God, I got my machine. You're going to be hugging it. You're going to go to sleep, thinking about the machine, waking up, staring at the machine, okay? But then as you start to do embroidery on that machine, that what ends up happening is you start learning that your shirts crumbled up, or you get a lot of puckering, or you use the wrong needle, and then you're going to get frustrated, right? Now, the person that's really serious about embroidery isn't going to get frustrated. They're going to be pissed off. Who the hell ain't, right? You're going to be like, what the hell happened here, right? But you're going to look at it, you're going to say, all right, fine. Now I gotta find out what the heck happened so that way I can learn not to do this again. somebody else who really isn't that passionate about embroidery, just wanted to do it because they thought it was just fun, something quick to do and learn and pass the time, they're going to be pissed off and they're going to be like, what is this crap? And they're just going to throw it out and they're going to blame the machine and they're going to be frustrated. They're just going to move on and go on to other things. And then next thing you know, bang, their machine is up on Facebook, on Marketplace, where they're trying to sell it off. Okay. So one of the things that I say is, don't discard you buying a used machine, okay? Because if you do your homework and you do it right, okay, and you already have a technician that you researched and you see a used machine out there, you can call that technician and go, hey, I see this machine's on sale. Can you service that machine? If I brought it home, would you be able to come to my house and service that machine? Because chances are, if I was to buy a used machine off of Facebook, what I would do is I'm going to bring it home. And the first thing I'll do is call a technician to come in so they can do an annual maintenance audit to make sure that it's good, golden, and everything. Same concept as in when you're buying a car. Okay, if you're buying a used car, what do you guys do? I hope you guys are thinking to yourself, well, I'm going to take it to a mechanic so that a mechanic can look at it, because I'm not going to take the person's word that the machine was, that the car was driven to the Piggly Wiggly every Saturday. I'm not going to believe them, right? I hope not. We're gonna go to the mechanic. We're gonna say, can you show me? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say, well, have you taken his service? Where have you taken his service? I'm gonna call them and I'm gonna say, have you serviced this machine? I'm also gonna call another person that I want to service the machine, so I can have them on standby, so that after I purchase that machine, I want them to come to the house so they can just clean it up for me and stuff, so that way I can go ahead and start using it. All right. So the thing is, look at used machines. There are a lot of machines out there where people have bought into embroidery. All of a sudden they found out this is not my thing, it's not a bad thing. I mean, hell, you don't know if you don't try in life, right? There's a lot of times when you got to try something in life, then you find out, but that's not for me, like quilting, right? My sister, all about quilting. Knitting, all about knitting. And she can knit and she can quilt. I can't knit and quilt for the life of me, okay? If somebody had a gun to my head, I'd be like, I'm dead. They're shooting me. Because let me tell you, when I knit, I mean, it starts straight, and then next thing you know, you go from straight to you, then this thing. And then when I finish knitting, my sister looks at it and she's like, what the hell happened there? I'm like, I don't know. I mean, she's like, you didn't count. I'm like, I did count. I can't knit for the life of me. It's the same thing with quilt. She knows how to cut those pieces of fabric and she knows exactly how to measure it and sew them. I cannot sew straight for anything, okay? My girlfriend Jarina's coming this weekend so that I can hem her pants. She's taking a chance, I'm going to tell you, okay? I mean, I hope, and it's supposed to be so that she can go visit her daughter at the military base. I think her daughter's stationed in Illinois or something like that. But let me tell you something, boy, I'm going to be sweating because I'm going to be like, okay, Jarina, you put it under the sewing machine, because if I put it under the sewing machine, you're going to have one leg that stops here and the other one's going to be up here, okay? And you're going to have to be telling people that's the new style. So, everybody's different, right? So sewing, it's a hit and miss with me, okay? And I tell people off the bat, but embroidery, I love it. Love it, okay? Enjoy embroidering all the time, okay? I can embroider anything, all right? It's like, I love it. I love experimenting with different colors. I love experimenting with different designs. I love it when a customer comes to me with a brand new product that I have never embroidered, and it's a challenge. I'm like, oh my God, bring it on. I want to try it, okay? I mean, it's like, to me, I just love it. And I am good at it. I don't mean to brag or whatever, but I think I'm a very decent embroidery because I do have a lot of people around here that bring me their stuff. So much so that, like I said, I needed that break so bad. It's just like, whew, and I get hats, jackets, sweatshirts, hoodies, shirts, polo shirts. I got a big order for golf towels now. It's like, all over. It's just all over. It's just like, okay. But and I just have to schedule them and stuff like that. But I will tell you, it's very, very, very lucrative. It really truly is. I mean, especially locally. Okay. So just think about those things when you're thinking about getting a machine and stuff like that. So let me go down the list because I want to make sure that I mentioned it. First of all, I talked about how much are you willing to spend. They vary in prices. Now, of course, also look at the functionality of the machines. Not, all machines embroider. They all do the same thing. They all embroider. However, how they embroider is different, okay? And the functionality in the machine is different. So try to do I remember once I was talking to the crafty Puerto Rican, and one of the things that Jenny told me that she did was because she has a Racoma. And I remember she was doing a comparison between the Racoma and the Melco. And I think what she did was she did a list and she compared all the features of all of that, right? And she ended up deciding that for her, the Racoma was the best fit for her needs and her desires and stuff. And she loves her machine. But the thing is, you have to do your research. So what I recommend you do is write down the different vendors that you're interested in, right? I would start with that. Then I would also call each of them up and then ask, and think about what is it that you're looking for. First, ask the questions, right? Like our first question really should be, do you want a flat or do you want a multi? Okay. And then you got to know where you're going to put it. Okay. So, and then, once you know what space and all that kind of stuff, and I want a flat or a multi, and don't think people don't make money off them flatbed machines. Okay. I have a girlfriend who she has a flatbed machine. Okay. She has I think it's a Viking. She has a flatbed. And let me tell you, she embroiders gorgeous. I mean, she is big on selling jackets. She gets the jean jackets, and in the back of the jean jackets, she embroiders these designs, and she has beautiful designs. She loves to do kids jean jackets for girls and boys. She does the patches. She does butterflies, flowers. I mean, she gorgeous designs. But I will tell you, they take a long time because she has gotten, sometimes she'll embroider the collar, sometimes she'll do the front, she'll do the back. And then, she goes off on Saturdays and she puts up all her jackets. And I got to tell you, beautiful work, beautiful work. Done on a single needle on a flatbed. Okay, so what I'm saying is, depending on what it is, what you envision yourself in doing, and what it is that you want, I mean, that will help you determine what is the machine that you want. But a lot of times people right off the bat, they're like, oh, I want a multi, I want a multi, I want a multi. And then when I look at the things that they do, I'm like, you could have had a flatbed. You could have had a flatbed. And it would have took less space. And it probably, I don't know. But hey, each his own, right? And you never know. Maybe they're gonna grow to do other stuff too. Okay. And stuff. And flatbeds, they're just as good. If you guys saw also in one of the videos that I put out last week, there was a tote bag that this lady had. There was no way that I could put that tote bag in my multi-needle machine. That was the first time I came across that, because the edge, the bottom did not fold. There was just no way that I was going to fold it. It was going to break if I folded it. Where did I embroider that bag? On my single needle machine, on a riser. That's how I did that bag. See? So, don't, think about it. Okay. So think about how much you're willing to spend. Think about what you're planning on doing. Okay. What is it that you really want to do with that machine? Okay. And think about how serious you want to get into this. Okay. Are you going to be opening up an embroidery corporation? Or are you going to just be a hobbyist, or you just want to do be a little small, simple business? Or what, think about it. Think about what it is that you plan on doing. Okay. Also think about, like I said, your space. Okay. That's the third thing I mentioned. Think about the space. Think about, look at both options. Look at multi needles, look at flatbeds. Okay. The single needle machines, because they're both just as good. Also, don't just think about the machine. This is the what is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't just think of this. The fifth thing was, don't just think about the machine. think about the other added things that you want besides the machine that you're gonna want. Okay, like I said, my machines came with the hoops. I don't even use them. They're in the closet. Okay, I mean, they don't even come out. I use mighty hoops. That's what I use. All mighty hoops. I use my fast frames. I use my dookie frames. Yeah, that's what I use. Okay, what I just did on this, on my mom's shirt, I used a mighty hoop. Okay, I used a mighty hoop, a 4x4 hoop on this, and then on my collar right here, I mean my sleeve, this right here, um, Carlito and Mello. This was on a fast frame. Came out so cute. Ooh, I like my shirt. I'm gonna be wearing it tomorrow. So I mean, think about those extra accessories that you're gonna need to buy for that machine. Okay, so just don't think that you're gonna get that machine. It's gonna show up and you don't have to buy anything else. That is like so like wrong. Okay, so I'm just letting you know. Okay, because if you really think about it too, this is the other thing too. When you go on YouTube and you watch all these people with all these other machines, guess what? They also use third-party products on those machines as well. Okay, just saying, so just think about that. Okay, also think about the support. Okay, when you need support, are you going to get it? Now, when you're thinking about the support and how much it's going to cost, okay, how much is it going to cost to maintain it, how much is it going to cost you to get support, I am telling you right now, do your research and ask the hard questions. This is not the time to be the yes person and be shaking your head when they say, oh, this machine does this and that, and you just go in, oh, okay. No, this is the time for you to be very direct and ask those hard questions. Who do I call for support 10 years from today? Because this is a lot of money that you're spending. And I'm talking about flatbeds too. There are flatbed machines that could cost you good 30 grand. Okay. So, I mean, think about it. Where, are you going to train me? Where do I call for support? How much is your support? Okay. Remember, some vendors, what they'll do is they'll say, we give you free support for a limited amount of years. Okay. Well, what happens when those years are gone? Then what? Then what? How much is it going to cost for you to support that machine after 5 years, after 6 years, or whatever number they give you? Okay. And how are you going to support me? What kind of quality of service are you going to get? And if it's possible, if you could find someone that has that machine that you're looking at, that you're thinking to yourself, you know what, I think that's the machine that I'm going to go with. If you could find someone that has owned that machine for more than 5 years and is still using it, that's the person you want to go talk to. Okay, because they can tell you up front about the longevity, the lifetime of that machine. Okay. Like a perfect example would be Liliana from Impro Print Now on her YouTube channel. She has been doing the embroidery business for over 25 years. She uses Happy Japan. Okay. So if I ever wanted to know about Happy Japan or, their support or whatever, I would call her. She's not affiliated with that manufacturer at all. She's not making no money off any of those machines. So there's no bite in her game for telling me how she truly feels about that machine. But she has been running those machines for over 20 years, I think. Over 20 years. So she would be the best person for me to ask. So when something happens to one of your Happy machines, how do you get support for that? How much does it really cost you? And she has a couple of videos talking about, the maintenance of her machines and the technicians, the cost. She's done some videos on that. So, my whole thing is to find out truthful, honest information. That to me is very, very, very important. Because what ends up happening is sometimes, you could get information, but, sometimes a person hasn't had the machine for more than 10 or 15 years, so they don't know. And this is the other thing too, if they are in the business of selling the machines, okay, and stuff like that, they're going to get a different type of service than what you, a regular customer, would get, because of course the company has an interest to make sure their machines keep running, because they want them to make that sale for them. Okay, so you got to, always think about that kind of stuff. I mean, always, I always, people laugh because they say, Jeanette, yeah, that use car salesman theory that I always have. I tell people, I go, you got to be careful, because it's like people come out like vultures. Okay, they do. They come out like vultures and come from everywhere. And all of a sudden, they are trying to push and push and push a sale. But my whole thing is, don't allow that. You know what you're looking for. First of all, you know your pocketbook. You know what you can afford. You know what it is that you want to do. Okay. You know what you're looking for. All you want to do is just make sure that you are getting the machine that best matches what you're trying to do. Okay. So there, those vultures could be around me all they want. But the thing is, I'm going to ask those hard questions. Okay. And I'm going to want to talk to people, and I want to see those machines work. A lot of times I've seen people where they have purchased machines, and then also they purchase the machine, and then they come on, they say, this is a piece of crap. And they go on social media and they talk so poorly about the machine. They say, oh, it's a piece of crap. But what ends up happening is maybe the machine, and I'm not saying they're lying. What I'm saying is it could be a user error. You never know. It could be that they didn't understand the machine, right? Because they didn't have enough training, or I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I because the thing is, like, I'll take, let's say brand A, right? Because I don't really want to like call out any vendors out there, because honestly, I mean, I've heard good and bad about a lot of machines, okay, including the machines that I have. I mean, I've heard some people come out and say, oh no, those are terrible. But they've been pretty good to me. They've been pretty good to me. I mean, I had a needle threader go bad on me? Yeah. Have I had to, like, I've had a screw also that got stripped on me, and I had to go and buy brand new screws, and brand new screw, and take it out and put a new one. But it was very simple fixes and stuff. And I do have a technician that comes in and runs maintenance on it. I don't really have problems with tension on my machine, because I do know how to manage tension on my machine. So I run the tension test on my machine on a monthly basis. And whenever I see that my machine needs adjustments, I have no problem making the adjustments myself. So it just depends. You're gonna see people that are gonna say this machine's a piece of crap. Then you're gonna say people, oh, this machine's the best thing in the world. So you don't know who to believe. You really don't. Okay. The thing is, to me, is like, you got to go for what you want and what you like, the machine that you feel you're going to understand and you're going to find easy to work with, and the machine that you're really going to be able to do the things that you want to do. Okay. Another thing too is, sometimes not everybody's into doing hats. Not everybody's into doing book bags, big bulky items. There's a lot of different things that people really aren't interested at all to embroider. Like, I'm going to be honest with you, hats, I don't like doing hats. I really don't. Now, can I do them? Yes. Do they come out good? Yeah. I mean, because I've practiced enough and destroyed enough hats that now when a customer comes to me and says, hey, I want a hat done, I can do it. I can, no problem. However, it's really not my thing. I mean, I can do it, but I'm like, at one time I even took one of the machines. I took the 6 needle machine, and then what I did was I put the hat driver on it, and then I was like, okay, that's going to be my hat machine, right? That's going to be my hat machine. But then I ended up taking off the hat driver off, because I got so many orders for polo shirts and all that stuff that I couldn't just retire that third machine. I needed all my machines to be working. So the hat driver had to come off, and I had to put the regular regular arm on there so it can help me with the polo shirts and stuff and the jackets and everything. So there's just so many things that, you have to consider and stuff like that. I did talk about going to buy used, if you can. I know a couple of people that went and bought used embroidery machines and loved them. And I even know this one guy, and where is he? I think he's in Florida, if I remember correctly. All he does, and let me tell you, I laugh when I see his videos. God, I forgot his channel. But he because I haven't watched him in a while. He buys nothing but used embroidery machines. And he's not about a particular vendor either. He has all different types of embroidery machines, and he runs his embroidery machine. And I cracked up because in one of his videos, he came out, because he does his videos all in Spanish, and he came out, he was saying, I don't spend no more than $3,000 on an embroidery machine, because what he does is he buys the machines broken, right? Like they don't work. So he'll go there, look at it and go, oh, and then what he'll do is he'll spend $3,000 on the embroidery machine, and then he has a technician come in, fix the machine, because a lot of times what happens is the person knows it ain't working, but they don't ever bother to get it fixed. They just say it ain't working. They don't want to do it anymore, right? So he'll take it, he'll fix it, and then he got a machine that's fully functional and just adds it to his shop. So, I just crack up because when I look at his embroidery shop, he has all these different types of machines. Okay, he's got commercial, semi-commercial, he even got flatbed machines. I mean, and he's like, you break it, I take it, I fix it, I use it. I just crack up. I'm like, oh my God. I said, see, that's the way to go. Because the thing is, he's watching his coins. Okay, he's like, I don't want to be buying brand new. Why would I buy brand new when I could just buy used, fix it, and I could use it? Smart man. So I'm like, you know what? He's got it going on, and he's making pretty good. He's doing pretty good and stuff. So I'm kind of like, my hat was off to him. I was like, oh my God. So he kind of cracked me up. But consider it. I mean, you can save a couple of bucks doing that. And the other thing too is, be careful about what people tell you, because sometimes little myths, okay? Like they'll come on, they'll say, hey, if you buy this brand, you're not going to be able to get support in your home. That's not true. That's not true. You can find people and stuff like that. And then also take a look into their company's reputation and stuff like that. There's a lot more companies out there that are coming out with their own machines, but you gotta have to be a little careful with that, for the simple fact that I don't know, they're brand new, they just got into the market, and you don't know if you're getting a machine that can really do a good job. So I don't know. I would trust more of a company that has been in the game for quite some time, for that have been in the business, didn't just show up yesterday, okay? And and that you can actually reach out and you can talk to a lot of people that have used that machine a lot of year, in the past, right? Because what you want to do is you want a company that is solid. That's what you want. Okay. Now, sometimes too, a lot of times people touch on resale. They say, hey, look at the resale of the machine. I don't really worry about that, because this is how I look at it. If you are serious about embroidering, right, I would not want to resell my machine. There's just, I wouldn't want to do it. Why would you want to? If it's a good machine and you love what you do, you're going to want to keep it. Okay. Now, the only time you would probably resell it, I think, and I even considered it once in my situation, because I was thinking, should I trade in my trade in my 6 needle for a 10 needle machine? And one time I was thinking about that, right? And then I said, nope, screw it. I'm going to go and buy just a 10 needle. And I stayed with my 6 needle. Well, I'm going to tell you something. I'm glad I made that choice. So I have a 6 needle and 2 10 needles, and I'm okay with that. I think I'm good with what the machines that I have. Now, I have a huge volume, but right now I'm okay with it because I schedule my work, right? So I schedule my work and everything like that. So I don't need to have 6, 7, 10 machines to finish my work. Okay. And not only that, my customers know I'm still working full time. Okay. So I actually get up and I go into the office. So I have to go to work. So when I go to work, when I come home, that's when I turn on my machines, which is why it's so important for me to schedule the work, because my customers know that, during the week, I'm not in here at 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. This is not my full-time job. Okay. Kind of is in a way. Sometimes I go into the weeds of the night and I'm working. So sometimes I will tell you, it feels like I have two full-time jobs. And then on the weekends I'm working and at night I'm working and stuff. But the thing is, they kind of know, right? So it's like, it's okay. Now, when I retire, then I can take on more and all that kind of stuff and everything. But I've been pretty fortunate because unless it's a super emergency order like the last order that I had, usually customers are pretty good. And if I tell them, hey, I won't be able to do your order until 3 Saturdays from today. They usually really good, and then they just look at the calendar and go, "Yep, that's fine." And my customers, especially my repeat customers, they're pretty good because they kind of know. So when they have a project and they need that project by a certain time frame, they'll come back and they'll say, hey, Jeanette, I have some shirts. I don't need them till May or June. Can you put me on your schedule? Can you put me on your schedule? Let me know when, so that way I can make sure I have those shirts to you before you can work on them. Which, that I will tell you, I love it, because these customers, they don't just come with one or two. They actually come with like 20, 30, 40, 50 shirts. And it's like, and usually when it's at that volume, I can usually knock it out in like 2 days, right? Because what I'll do is I'll get up early in the morning on Saturday. I set up all my machines and everything, and then I just start hooping, and putting them in, and then swapping them out and all that kind of stuff. It's the whole process and everything. So, but it's okay. So yeah. So let me see, and then let's see. Yeah. So think about the customer reputations. So, and the myths. Let me see. Consider buying used. I think I covered everything. So I hope I didn't disappoint you guys, because I know, and I'm going to tell you, there is one thing that I get all the time. And I know some of you guys get pissed off at me because I always give you the same answer. Okay. The number one question that I get through email, chat, everything is, what machine do you recommend I buy? And I know you guys get pissed off because I always tell you, you have to buy the machine for you. I mean, it's like, I just want you guys to understand, these machines cost money. I mean, they are thousands of dollars, and that's including the flatbed. Okay, flatbeds are not cheap. Like I told you, they are up there as well. So it's like buying a car. So it's like, I am not going to tell anybody to go get a Toyota or a Honda or a Tesla or or a Kia or anything like that. Um, Everything's different. It depends on what it is that fits your needs and your wants. You have to do your research. Things are different in different areas, right? So you have to make sure that you do the research as who are you going to get it serviced and all that stuff. Some places, some of you guys live in rural areas. Some people live in cities, and some people have a lot of shops around them. Some people, you don't have a sewing shop close by, or can find a technician close by. So there's a lot of factors, right, that's going to go into your decision. So, when you guys ask me, hey, what should I get? I'm not going to tell you what to get. What I will do is advise you on things you should ask yourself and answer yourself so that you could make the right decision for you. I'm not going to tell you what to buy. I'm not affiliated with Embroidery Machines at all. And there's a reason for it, because I think, in my opinion, I think they're all great. I think they're all great. I think they're all fantastic. They each bring their own flavor to the table, okay? It depends what flavor you want. You know, you want vanilla, you want chocolate, you want strawberry, raspberry, what do you want? So, don't I don't want anyone to say, these brands are bad, this one's better than this one. It's all what you need, what you want to do and stuff like that. I know it's not the answer that you guys want to hear. I know that. I know it's a lot easier. But the thing is, trust me, you will be better off doing your own research and finding the machine that's right for you in the end. It truly is. Okay. Look for different support groups on Facebook. You're going to see people have all types of different machines, even on my Facebook group. Okay. Even, it's not just brother. I have people there that own Taishinas. I have people that own Racoma. I have people that have Melco. I have people that have the SWF, Happy Machines. There's different machines everywhere. So look for the support from different Facebook groups, and ask around. The best way is to ask and stuff like that. But the thing is, when you are asking, I do tell you guys, be conscientious of where you're getting the information from, okay? Because you want honest responses, okay? Try out the machines. The best place to really try out machines is to go to trade shows. If you have an opportunity to go to trade shows, before going to the trade show, see what vendors are going to be there. They're actually going to have a machine. See if you could try it out, if you can look at it, see how it performs and stuff like that, and ask questions and everything. You got to do your own research, because at the end of the day, you're buying your own car. Okay, that's what you're doing. Okay, you're the one that's going to pick the color of the exterior, the interior. You're the one that's going to pick everything, right? So it's the same thing like embroidery software, right? A lot of people come on and say, hey, what do you recommend? I only use one, okay? But I always tell you guys, I use one because I'm kind of stuck. I'm an Apple girl, okay? I love my Apple products. I don't like Windows. We don't even have a Windows machine in the house. So Embrilliance is the only thing that I found that works on a Mac, okay? However, fortunately, I enjoy using it, okay? I think it's easy to learn, but I have a different way of learning, okay? I do have a learning disability, so I do process information in a whole different way, okay? So for me, that software works great, okay? And I do like their pricing structure. You buy what you need, okay? Embroidery software is just as complicated in buying, just as buying an embroidery machine, okay? I mean, there are so many different types of embroidery software out there. Each embroidery software has a different price range. Okay. Some are very super expensive, some are cheaper than others. But it depends on what you want to do, right? Do you want to digitize your own stuff, or do you want to go ahead and just merge designs and all that kind of stuff? The same type of research that you're doing and getting an embroidery machine, you're going to have to do the same type of research when you are looking to buy your embroidery software. So that's why, if you really think about it, why in the very beginning, everybody was jumping the bandwagon and buying all these embroidery machines. And then all of a sudden, now you see them all on Facebook and everybody's trying to get rid of them. Simple reason, okay? Because they didn't realize everything that's involved in embroidery. This is a lot. It is not, first of all, it is not for those that are cheap in the pocketbook, okay? Because the more serious you get into embroidery, the more you're going to spend, okay? Because you're going to need equipment and all that kind of stuff and everything. And you're going to grow, all right? So, and some people, they looked at that and they said, shoot, I mean, this is not something that I can do, okay? They'll be like, oh, I'll just sew or quilt or whatever. And quilting's expensive too. I mean, I got to be honest with you. I mean, my sister, she does the quilting and she does the knitting, and that's not cheap either. I mean, good quality yarn is expensive. You get what you paid for, okay? Like she tries, and she goes to the dollar store, because Nancy is very, very frugal with her money. She goes to the dollar store. She finds some really good buys. But trust me, She goes to Missouri Star and all that kind of stuff and everything, and she grabs anything she can on sale. But she knows the difference between the quality. And even when you watch my sister in her channel, and if you look at some of her old videos, when she talks about the yarn, there have been times when I see her, she picks a yarn that she has gotten from Missouri Star, and then a yarn that she's gotten from the dollar store, and she'll talk about the different type of quality of the yarn. Same thing with fabric, okay? Like when you buy fabric that's cheap. I remember when I was going with Miss Banks, the first time I went to the Sewing and Quilt Show, she was talking to me about the difference of quality of fabric, which to me, I was so used to buying cheap fabric. What the heck did I know about good quality fabric? Okay, I didn't know nothing. All I knew was, hey, I went to Walmart. Walmart was cheap fabric. It was pretty, nice, and I liked it. They cut it up and I sewed it up, okay? Then I went over to the Sewing and Quilt Show, and then Miss Banks took me to a table and she said, feel this. And I took the fabric and I felt it, and I felt how smooth, how thick. And I was like, oh. And then she was like, this is quality fabric. This is what quality fabric feels like. And I'm going to tell you something, she messed me up, because ever since then, I don't want the fabric at Walmart. I don't want, I want the good stuff because I got spoiled. But the good stuff costs money. Okay. So, it's like, so, anyway, well, get a little off traffic and stuff. Let me get some water too. Look, throat's dry. Okay. So I hope I was able to give you guys some info tonight, because I do get that question a lot, and I just wanted to give you guys some things to think about before you go off spending your hard-earned money, so that you guys can really make sure that you're making a good choice for yourself and stuff. So let me go up the front. Oh my God, Kim, I was just talking about you, girl. How you doing, Kim? And so Kim, thank you so much. I mean, that you emailed me. You have no idea. That break of of us emailing back and forth. I needed it. I really, really did. And stuff. I'm glad you're here tonight. Hey, Cynthia, how you doing? Hey, Joanne. Hey, Kathy. I see Robin, Miss Rivera. Hey, Joanne, how are you? Lauren. Hey, LWs, Debbie, Tammy, Karen. Hey, Giant, Baby Giant, how you doing? Hey, Christina, Leslie, Jenny, Quilt. Hey, Iris, how are you? Hey, my sister Nancy. So if you guys don't know, this is my sister Nancy, and she does Saturday Crafternoon. So that's the name of her YouTube channel and stuff. So I will be there tomorrow at noon. That's for sure. Let's see. I see Lovely Martin. Hey, Rosetta, how are you? Kim, glad I helped. You did. You gave me a break I needed to. You have no idea. And it's really funny how in life, sometimes you have no idea. Kim, it's like you have no idea. Like sometimes, I don't know. It's like you do something so simple, or you do something that, you don't think anything of it, but the person receiving it, it's like it's a whole other level. Because you emailed me at a time where I was pretty stressed. I had all these machines running. I had shirts galore, no break. And I was just exhausted, and I was just like, and then when I saw the email, I was like, oh, let me write back. I gotta write back, because that's not right. Because I didn't, because I didn't want you to feel any kind of way. And then I wrote you back, and then when you wrote back, and then I wrote you back again. And then it was like, then I was like thinking to myself, I was like, shoot, I needed to like get away. She got me away from this room. So it was like, I really appreciated that. I did, Kim. So email me anytime, okay? You're gonna be my sanity. You're gonna force me to take my breaks. And so, hey Marsha, how you doing, Robin? Cal, I don't know if I said your name right. Cal Vivery from Long Island City. I'm a New York to tell you, but from Queens. Me and my sister grew up in the Barrio in Manhattan, and then we moved to Queens and stuff. Oh, everybody saying hi to Mello. Hey, Faith, how are you? Hey, Jenny. Oh, let's see. Marsha said, I suggest that if you're in the market for a machine, take classes at dealers or expos. Take classes that supply different machines. Different machines require different brains, like Mac versus Windows. Yes, Marsha, totally agree. The exposure to the different types of machines that are out there is so important. I totally agree with the advice that she's giving. You know, before you spend that hard-earned money, expose yourself to all of them so you can know how all of them work. You know, they each have their own functionality. So yeah, definitely. Thanks for putting that out there, Marsha. I appreciate that. Hey, Jenny, if your son wants to move back home and you want the space, it might be worth it to help him finance an apartment. Maybe. I'm gonna think about that, Debbie. I might think about that. I don't know. We'll see. I gotta see what Cardito wants to do. Gotta see. He'll figure it out though. But love your sweatshirt. Oh, thank you. Thanks. Hey, Mama, cute sweatshirt. Oh, thanks. Hey, Clara, how are you? You are not restricted to one sweatshirt. Make another one as a tutorial. You know, I think I am gonna do it. I am gonna do another one, Debbie. I'm gonna do one because I want to gift one. I'll probably make one for my sister and stuff. But the thing is, Nancy's in Florida. They don't wear sweatshirts in Florida because she's in the sun and stuff like that. And these are a bunch of sweatshirts that I bought off a wholesaler. I have Atlantic Coast. It's called Atlantic Coastal Cotton, and they sell everything wholesale. And they're right, like literally, like 4 miles from me, which I loved. And then I was like, oh, when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, this is fantastic. So like these sweatshirts, super comfortable. And they were like about like $7. And I was like, oh, this is great. And it's and the label is American Apparel. So they're like super, they're American Apparel. See, and super soft. And I was like, oh, so I made one for me, and I do want to make another one for my girlfriend. I do want to make one for my sister and my mom. I was thinking of doing with my mom, like do something that says maybe mommy and abuela going across, maybe like a necklace kind of, mommy and abuela, and then put me and Nancy on one sleeve and then all the grandchildren in the other sleeve. It'll have to be a short sleeve. So I have to see what kind of, maybe I'll do like a t-shirt or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I want to make one, but I have to make, it's got to be short sleeve for them because Nancy and mommy are in Florida. So them wearing this type of clothing, it's not going to happen because if not, they'll melt because that's like real super strong sun out there, you know? Oh my God, Leslie said, I did a hoodie with Glima with it on my grandson's name on the sleeve. I need to, yeah, I'm gonna experiment on different shirts and stuff. Hey Allison, how you doing? Hey Evelyn. Hey Rita, how are you? Hey Angela and Stitches, how you doing? I see Deborah. Hey C McKee. Oh, I'm glad you like Fridays and stuff. I like you guys hanging out with me too. And stuff. Oh, okay. My 10 needle is on a Harbor Freight toolbox in the kitchen covered with a vinyl tablecloth. You better uncover that thing and use it, Marsha. And that's another thing too, guys. a lot of times people ask, I'm glad you mentioned this, Marsha, because a lot of people have asked me about embroidery stands, right? Now, the stands that I have for my machine came with my machine, right? The dealer actually threw it in there, right? Because they usually sell these separate. But a lot of times what people do is they buy these like tool chests from Home Depot and Lowe's and stuff like that. And they put their embroidery machine right on top of it and embroider from there. So, you don't sometimes you can find items to help you substitute with your embroidery and stuff. Well, I got to turn this off. Hold on. I got my machine flickering. Hold on. All right. Good. Okay. I had to stop it because I don't want the light bulb to go off on this stuff. Because when I took out the thing, I forgot to hit okay. So the light was going do, do, do. So I don't want it to go off on me. Okay. So let's see. Hey Thomas, how are you? Hey Veronica. You should do a live on the schedule book that has been good, bad tips. Yeah, that's a good idea. I will give you, Veronica, I'm going to tell you up front. One of the bad things about the schedule book is the emergency orders. And that's what really had me flustered this past week. I had an emergency order from a customer, and it was a repeat customer. And what happened was that their items, they needed something like yesterday. I mean, it was like they really needed to get it done and they could not wait, and I couldn't reschedule anybody else's embroidery stuff. So what I did was I told them, I said, well, it's a rush fee, and I tacked on a rush fee, and I didn't think they were going to pay, but they were like, no problem. And I was just like, shoot, that means no sleep. That means the heck with sleep. I got to keep going. So I was like, okay, so did the rush order and stuff, but it exhausted me. So it wasn't a bad thing of the schedule book. It was a bad thing on me because I didn't say no. I should have just really said no, but I felt so bad. And it is a customer that is a repeat customer. And I will tell you this, it was a little struggle, but I don't want to say that I regret it, for the simple fact that I'm glad I was able to help them out. And I will say, it is a customer that is willing to pay. Okay. Because the customers that I really cannot stand are the ones that they want everything for nothing. Okay. And they quickly learn that that's just not going to happen with me. Okay. I refuse to work for free. I am not that girl, if that's what you're looking for. If you're looking to undercut me, that's just not going to happen. Because this is how I look at it. At the end of the day, I have plenty of work. I'm not, believe me, plenty of work. And the thing is, the business right now, what it's doing is helping me pay for my son's college, college. So he's going to be done in May. And then after that, it's just money that I'm going to be putting away to probably further help him out. That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. We'll see. Or maybe to treat myself to something. Because, heck, I'm over here working and I'm giving all the money away. He needs to come meet. I'm the one that's working. Or Carly's going to have to learn these machines, learn how to work these suckers. That's the only bad thing. You got to stick to it. But Veronica, I'll keep that in mind. I'm going to think about it and stuff. But I will tell you, it's been working pretty good. It really has. It's just when I get those emergency orders that throws it off. That's the only thing. And I can't even say that's the book's fault. That's my fault for taking on the extra work and stuff. Hey Arlene, how you doing? Hey Pearl. Let's see. Hey Angela. Oh, see, and Angela has a Racoma. She says she loves her Racoma 10U. It's a great machine. They provide wonderful support, and it doesn't expire or cost anything. And the crafty Puerto Rican, has the Racoma too, and I think she has a 10 needle as well. I think right now, I think she's trying to upgrade. I don't know if she is, or I don't know. I could be saying it wrong, but I could have. So I was having a conversation with her, and I think she said she was looking at a 15 needle. I'm not sure. Maybe she'll trade it up. I don't know, but she loves the Racoma and Angela stitches. Me and my sister last year, when we were dealing with the situation with my dad, me and my sister took a break, and we actually, they have a headquarters out in Miami, Florida. And me and my sister took the time to visit headquarters, just to get our mind off of things and just to really see the machines. And I'm gonna tell you something, we were really blown away, at their facility. I mean, it was beautiful. I mean, if you guys are ever in Miami, Florida, I highly recommend that you call them up and ask them if you can tour their machines. They had, we looked at those machines and we were like at awe. Gave us so much information. It was really, really good. It was worth the trip. I really liked it. So, just something to think about if you're ever in Miami, Florida and stuff. They're right there. So, and I've heard a lot of people, I've heard some people hate them, and then I heard some people love them. But, like I said, it to me, sometimes I often wonder when people say they don't like a certain machine. I sometimes wonder if it's just was a learning curve. Maybe they didn't understand it, or something, or they could have gotten a lemon. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just thinking about it. But you hear good and bad about all of them. And so that's why I always say you gotta look to see which one really works for you and stuff. Hey Gail, how you doing? Hey Betty. Oh, and Betty's over here saying she's 69 years young, and I got two of my neighbors to carry my Vacoma 15 needle machine upstairs at 325 pounds. They are heavy. Yes, embroidery machines are very, very heavy. That's why I was like, and my brother machines are not as heavy as the Racomas. Okay. I think the brother machines are probably about 100 to 125 pounds, something like that. I just didn't want to chance it. I didn't want to chance it at all because my husband turned 62 this year. And my son wasn't home. He was in college. So I was like, you know what? Just to suck it up. I'll just pay a moving company. And of course, they charge by the hour. And it's not going to take an hour to take that machine, just take it upstairs. But, it was worth it. It was just worth it. And now that it's up here, it stays up here. And I actually have a technician that comes visit my home on an annual basis. So none of these machines have to leave this room. None of them. They just, he comes in and he works on all of them. So I don't have to take them back downstairs, put them in the car, and then take them up. So it works out great and stuff. Let's see. Hey Leslie. Hey Betty. Let's see. Hey Angela. How you doing? Just need to knock out a wall to my spare bedroom. That would do it. Okay, people are starting to knock down walls now. And so, and and I'm gonna tell you something. I've actually talked to somebody. I have a friend of mine. He owns a diner, right? I have a lot of friends that actually own their own businesses. And one of the things I like to do is I like to pick their brains about it. And I was talking to him about it, and I said, I was thinking about doing like a brick and mortar, like opening up just a little shop, like Liliana has. But one of the things that my friend came out and told me was, don't do it. He was saying, don't do it, because he said work from your home as long as you possibly can. And the reason why he was saying that was because what ends up happening is you're paying rent to someone else. When you're paying rent to someone else, that's money that leaves your pocket. It's going into somebody else's pocket. And I was kind of like, you're right. So I was like, I don't want to just embroider for a landlord. I don't want to do that. So I I'm going to stick it out and I'm just going to stay at home because the business is growing. It truly is. And I have to tell you, I sometimes wish that I lived a little bit closer to my sister and my mom, because if they lived closer to me, I think they would be in trouble, because then I would be like, I'm going to buy another machine. I'll probably stick it in Nancy's house, and then I'll stick one to my mom's house, and I'll be like, okay, we're going to be pumping out some sales here. So I could just see it, and I'll be getting on their nerves. So maybe maybe that is a good thing that I kind of live far from them, because I could just see myself being too pushy and stuff. And Nancy just probably would be pissed off at me and be like, I just want to knit, because that's her thing. But yeah, but I think a brick and mortar, if with Liliana, it works because she actually owns the strip mall. That's hers. So she's not really paying rent. It's hers. She's paying a mortgage on it, and I'm sure, and then she has the rest of the strip mall is she rents it out to other shop owners and stuff, so they help, so for her it's different. I just don't want to like put the money in someone else's pocket, and then at the same time, then the money that I'm making is kind of leaving. So I kind of like keeping it. So I don't know, it's not going to work for me and stuff, because every time I talk to somebody, they're like, don't do it. The best thing to do is try to work from home if you can, which I'm like, I could see that. Yeah. Let's see. It says, my 99-cent store sold has for a while. I bought a bunch to practice on. I'm sure Goodwill or thrift stores will have them too. You're right. And, but the thing is, one of the things that I noticed, Marsha, is when I have gone to the thrift store to buy hats, the thing that I notice is that the hats already have something embroidered on them. And I kind of want blanks. So the General Dollar, if you go to General Dollar and stuff like that, you can get really cheap hats and stuff. I buy my hats wholesale, so these hats usually run about like $4 to $5 a hat. So what I'll do is I'll buy like 100 of them, and then I'll just practice and practice and practice. I will say it does bother me sometimes to throw away a very good hat just because I screwed up the embroidery. So sometimes what I'll try to do is I'll create a patch and I'll see if I can sew it on the hat, and then I could give it to a friend or something like that. I try to save the hat as much as I possibly can, because I do kind of feel guilty, because I feel like that's wasteful. But you have to practice. You have to practice and stuff. But to practice, I need blanks. I can't embroider on something that already has embroidery on it. And that's what I find a lot, Marsha, when I go to those thrift stores, is that you'll find a hat and it kind of already has like a patch over it, or I'll have initials on it or something. That's the only thing. Let me see. Any suggestions on how to package embroidery cocktail napkins? Yeah. What I usually do is I just put them in. If you go on Amazon, look for dress shirts bags, and you'll see like they're clear bags, and they're about 8.5 by 13. And you can put your dinner napkins in there, and then I ship them out in a regular shipping bag. That's what I usually do. Now, if they are a gift, what I usually do is I get boxes that are, what are the size? It's a 10 by 10 by 2. Okay, so that means it's a square, 10 inches, and it's about 2 inches thick. You can get those on Amazon too. You can even go to Walmart and get them as well. And then what I'll do is I'll package up I'll put tissue paper inside, package them up in the clear plastic, and then lay them inside the box, and then I ship them out. The only thing I don't like about doing that is when you use an actual box to ship an item out, it makes the item heavier. So when you go to buy the shipping label, of course you're going to pay more, because the box kind of added weight to the item. So, but to get around that, what you can do is you can buy those shipping bags that are really pretty off of Amazon. Sometimes they got some with little flowers on it. Sometimes they got different colors. They got them in black, pink, blue, whatever, you know. They have different designs and stuff. So you can do that, and that way you can package it. But I would first put them in the clear bag, okay? And then I would put them in the shipping bag. That way they don't get damaged and stuff like that. But that's usually how I ship out my dinner napkins and stuff. Let's see. My multi-needle technician recommends the red line machine. You can get a 15 needle for less than a Wacoma, and the technician recommends it. It means that means something. Yep. And the thing is also too, Angela, it really depends on the technician. Sometimes technicians feel more comfortable working with one brand than another. But like I said, try to get as much information as possible on all the machines that you have an interest in. And if you have a technician that will come to your house and that is the brand that they are comfortable with, then the next question would be, all right, so if you went with that brand, you know who you can call to get service, but then you have to make sure that that brand is providing the type of embroidery that you want and that it's within your price range and all that stuff. Redline, I believe Eve from the Baby Booty, she uses a red line too. And she seems to be happy with it also. And you know, and she has brother machines too, and she's happy with the brother, and she still uses it. And she even still, I mean, she still does videos using the single needle machine. I think she got a single needle machine that has a 4x4 hoop, and she still uses it. So, you know. Hey, Miss Max, how are you? Hey, Michelle, how are you? Let's see. Oh, and let me see. Michelle says, I have a single needle brother, HQ17, but would like to grow my business one day. Would you suggest going to a Deco Summit for the machine idea? Absolutely, Michelle. I mean, I would absolutely, because you want to see the machine up front. And at the same time, you want to get as much information as possible. You know what I'm saying? You know, and this is the thing too. When we start embroidery, sometimes you have like these little small machines, and you have like a 4x4 hoop or a 5x7, and then as time goes on, you start realizing that you need a bigger hoop size because now you want to start embroidering other stuff. I do even have friends that they run their business using a 5x7 hoop because they love to do baby onesies. That's all they do. They do baby onesies, baby towels, and stuff like that. They have no interest in doing business logo shirts. They don't want to really do hats. They don't want to do anything else. Their whole life is the baby suits, the body suits, the onesies. They love those. Okay. So they just go and they buy the body suits, and they just like to do the different appliques and everything like that. They do, I mean, beautiful stuff. And they do very, very well, you know. So it really depends on your needs. But if you feel like, Michelle, that right now you kind of outgrew the machine and you want to go a little bit bigger, definitely go to those events, because those events are going to have the other machines out there, the different brands. You get to see it up close. You get to talk to them. You get to see the quality of the stitching and all that kind of stuff. And, you know, and ask them as many questions. Now, one of the things you may want to do before you go there, which just popped into my head, is before you show up at the summit, right? You want to do your research. So before you show up, you want to write down what kind of vendors are going to be there. Then you want to take a notebook with you, and you want to write down the type of questions that you want to ask each particular vendor, right? Like, of course, you're going to ask about the price. Then you're also going to ask about their support, ask about their warranty, ask about maintenance, ask about hoop sizes, ask about hats, ask about, you know, third party accessories and stuff like that. Write down a whole bunch of questions that you would ask. And then what you do is every time you visit a vendor, ask them the same exact questions. Write down the responses that you get from each of those vendors. That way, when you go home, you get to open up that notebook, and then you can do kind of like what Jenny from the Crafty Puerto Rican did, where she did one column was one machine, one column was the second machine, and then she did a whole comparison one by one. And then she was able to determine what was going to be the best machine for her. So what you can do is you can use the same concept, and you can, when you get home, you already know that you asked every single vendor the same question. You get to write down all of their responses in a nice chart, and then you can see right up front what kind of popped out to you. And then from there, you can do additional research, right? And then until you end up making a decision that's right for you. That's what I would do. So I hope that kind of helped you, Michelle, to help determine how many sweatshirts do you need to buy from the company that you get them. You can buy one. There is no minimum maximum quality or anything like that. It's literally a wholesaler that's like 4 miles from me. They're called Atlantic Coastal Cotton, and they're really good. They don't have minimum. It's not like when you go to Alibaba where you have to buy 50 or 100 or 150. These, what I did was I actually bought one in different colors because I wanted to see. First, I wanted to see, like, they even, like, when you walk in, they even have like a little shop. So you can walk around the shop and you can kind of like touch and feel the items, right? But I also have their catalog. So I was like, okay, so I did an inventory listing of the one that of their warehouse in Virginia. And then what I did was I said, let me just buy like 5 sweatshirts, different colors, just to see what they look and feel like. Do I like them? Because, sometimes I could buy a sweatshirt because I am a sweatshirt type of person. I love my sweatshirts and I love sweatpants and stuff. I mean, I literally love wearing that stuff. So, but I like the material to feel a kind of certain way. I like soft feeling material. I have purchased like sweatshirts from Walmart where sometimes they're like more on the cotton side. So they kind of feel like rough, right? Or tight. They don't feel like kind of stretchy. I kind of like these. Like I said, this is American Apparel. I like them because they're like super soft in the inside. Okay. They feel really soft. They feel very flexible, very relaxed. I don't feel like, like bad, or I like the way they fit because I do like wearing baggy clothes. Yeah, I've always liked wearing baggy clothes. So I mean, to me, I was like, oh, I like this. So but you don't have to buy like a whole bunch. The same thing with hats. I bought a bunch of hats from them. This is an Adams hat, and it has like the leather strap in the back. I like these hats a lot. I like the way they feel because they're kind of low. They don't feel like super stiff. They're non-structure. Okay, these are soft. Okay, I'm not a big fan of the structure hats. I mean, I purchased a lot. They're great for embroidering. To me, embroidering on structure hats is a little easier than embroidering on non-structure hats. But I really like the non-structure hats better for me because I like wearing them. And stuff. But I bought this is the black, and I bought some blues, and I do have green, and I plan on playing around with them, doing monograms and all that kind of stuff and everything. So yeah, but they're pretty good. I kind of like them. I like their pricing, pretty decent. So yeah, and then I really love the fact they're only like 4 miles from me. So it's like I literally can place an order online early in the morning, and then by like in the afternoon when I get off work and I'm coming home, I can go straight there, and they got the box waiting for me, all nicely packed up, same day. So I love that and stuff. Hey Emma, how you doing? Hey Thomas, how are you? Um going to an expo really gives you an opportunity to test them out and get great information. Yeah, and you know what? That's right. Totally forgot that my sister went to the sewing and quilt show in I think it was in Lake something, Florida. Lakeland. I don't know. It was somewhere in Florida, but they had the sewing and quilt show. And one of the things that she did was she tried out all these sewing machines, all these sergers, the long arms for quilting. She tried them all out. And I think she fell in love with the Barina. I think it was the Barina machine that she really, really liked and stuff. Hey Shelly, how you doing? Hey Angela. Oh, she said she turned her storage shed into my embroidery room. Yeah, I got my little room right here. Work, yes, work from home as long as possible. Paying for a space is not fun. You constantly think about making enough money to pay the owner and make a profit. Yeah, and that's the thing. I don't want to do. That's the other thing too, guys. Is like I enjoy this a lot, and I really do enjoy working from home. The last thing that I want is to turn this into an unenjoyable experience for me. That's why I'm pretty kind of like really thinking things through. The business has grown. My reputation has really skyrocketed locally. Okay. Um, I'm pretty well known, for embroidery around here. So I'm doing very, very well. So I was like thinking if I had a shop, I would probably grow. But the thing is, like my friend said, they were like, grow where? I mean, everybody knows about you now. So it's like, okay. They should, they were like, I don't think you're gonna get any more business. Um, you may get more business, but it he just to me, he was just like, don't do it. Just don't. I mean, minimize your costs. Because and he brought up a good point. He was like, all that money that you would pay in rent, you could be, doing something else with it. Um, and I think I'm just gonna stay home. The only thing too is that it would be nice to get out of the house once in a while, because that's the other thing, is that I just feel like on the weekends I don't like get to go out that much, because like I'm home and working on my orders, and then I'm just home, 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 home. One of the reasons why I actually like my day job is because I actually get up in the morning, I get on a bus, and I have to drive to an office building, and then I work and I see other people and stuff like that. So I feel like getting out of the house, it really like makes me feel good. Being stuck at home all the time, I'm like, even though I got Mello with me, right, Mello? I got my Mello with me. Yeah, look at him. Oh my goodness. And he likes to keep mommy company. I know. But yeah, I do like, I need to get out a little bit more. So I think that's really the push as to why I was like thinking maybe do an outside shop just to get me out, because I'm always here. But that's okay. I mean, I'll find a way. I think what it is I need to find that break. Okay. I'm going to have to somehow just say, all right, I'm going to have to go for walks, or, just take a day off, because right now I'm working 7 days a week. I'm not taking any days off. I'm either filming for the channel, working on orders. To me, my Friday nights with you guys is not working. To me, I consider this as my hangout time with you guys, just to talk and share information, regarding embroidery. Um, I don't know. It's just but I do need to somehow get out. I will say this, Mello does give me that opportunity to get out, because, we go for our walks. Yeah, we do go for our walks, don't we? Yeah. You like the walks. Do you? You do. I like them too. I enjoy them too. So so he kind of helps me to really get out, and stuff, to get out of the house. But that is the only thing, is that sometimes I feel like I'm here too much, and then it can get a little bit like, you know Like I will say, like when I'm done here, talking with you guys, I plan on getting in the car and I'm gonna go to the gym and go swimming. Because I do like to swim. So I'll probably like right now, after tonight's embroidery happy hour, because the gym doesn't close till like midnight. Yeah, they don't close till midnight. So I'll probably, yep, most likely I'm gonna get up, put my bathing suit on, and then go to the gym and go swimming for a little bit and then hit the steam room because I like doing that too, because that kind of helps me get out. But it's life, right? It's life. You gotta do what you gotta do. Oh, what's Liliana's YouTube channel? Please. It's called Embro Print Now. I'm gonna put it in the chat for you. It's Embro Print Now. That's her YouTube channel. Oh, there it is. Yep, Robin got it. Okay. Only thing, her videos are all in Spanish, but I will tell you this though, if you watch her, she's really, really good at what she does. She really is. I love watching her stuff. No rush fees. That's funny. Yeah, the 99 cents. Yeah. But this is the other thing though, Marsha, too, is when it comes to embroidering hats on a multi-needle machine and hooping them, the hats come in different styles, right? You have, first of all, you have structure hats, you have non-structure hats. You have 6-panel hats, you got 4-panel hats, you got 2-panel hats. You have the fitted hats. You have hats that have the strip in the back. So sometimes some hats are easier to embroider than others. To get really good at embroidering hats, you really have to practice on the different types of hats that are out there. Because what happens is you have to get used to knowing how to hoop each of them correctly, how to stabilize them correctly, and all that kind of stuff. So, you can go to the 99-cent store and you can buy a dollar hat for it. But the thing is that you could get really good at embroidering on that. But if somebody comes to you with a fitted hat, or they come with you with a structured hat, that's a 6-panel or a 4-panel, it could be different, right? It could be different because you have to know how to hoop each types of these hats. That's the only thing about that I tell people about. And sometimes they're like, but a hat's a hat. It's not true. A hat is not a hat. There are different types of hat, different texture hats, different types of material. I have a customer once come to me with Nike hats that the hats were they were soft. They were not structured hats. They were not structured. There was a very soft material and it was pretty slippery. So that was a little bit of a challenge. I was able to do it, but I had to slow down that machine, because as soon as I hooped that hat, I noticed that I had to put 2 pieces of stabilizer to keep it really good, to help give it that extra structure so that it can embroider pretty good when the machine was going, back and forward and stuff. So you have to really practice your hats because the hooping techniques can be kind of different per the type of hat that you have. So just, something to think about. Okay. Let's see. Thank you so much for the suggestions. Oh, you're welcome. So far so good. Working on the machine. Lakeland. Yes, Lakeland, Florida. Okay, so I got it right. Okay. Sometimes I wonder because I am getting up there and I could be forgetting stuff. You never know. Okay, so let's see. Hey, Ozzy. And that's it. Ozzy's here. Okay, Ozzy has, if I remember correctly, I believe he has an SWF multi-needle machine and that he loves and stuff. And he's actually posted some of his videos and pictures on our Facebook group. And, he does really, really good work and everything. So, like I said, people have so many. There it is. He wrote down. Okay, it's the SWF Mass 12. So what I'm saying is a lot of people have different types of machine. Okay, they all embroider. They all embroider. You just have to find the machine that's going to fit your needs and that you're going to understand and that you're going to feel comfortable working with. That's really the bottom line. That's why, like, when people say, "Oh, Jeanette, what do you think of this, that?" I don't think anything. I ain't going to tell you what to buy. I'm just not going to tell you, okay? Because I want you to make the right decision for you. No matter what, at the end of the day, it's about you loving that machine and that machine loving you back and you doing your thing, okay? So it's, I don't tell people what kind of car to buy. I'm not going to tell you what kind of embroidery machine to buy. All I'm going to do is tell you to do your research. That's what I tell you. Yep. And Ozzy even put down, find a technician in your area. That is really, truly important to support the maintenance and stuff like that. Seriously. That is sometimes will really help you because a lot of times they're different. It's just really, I'm in an area where, I have a technician that works on all types of machines. So I'm pretty okay. I can call him up and go, "Hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of that?" He's good or whatever. Um, you know, I don't know. You just got to really make your decision for you. You really got to do your research and stuff. I can't emphasize that enough. I really can't and stuff. Um, Let me see. Oh, hey Angela, have you so much Maj? How long have you been doing? I have been doing it now for about 5 or 6 years, something like that. They might be going on 7. I don't know. I've been doing it for 5, 6 years, something like that. I've been doing it for quite some time. Um, I haven't been doing embroidery as a business for quite some time, okay? Because I have been doing embroidery. I was doing embroidery for about 2 years before I decided to do business. Now, the reason why that I did that, Miss Liliana is awesome. She just got on TikTok too. Oh, okay, cool. The thing is, like I said last week, when you do a business, the last thing you want is to put out crappy work, right? Because when you do that, what ends up happening is that kind of defines your reputation, right? So what I did was when I started doing embroidery, I was actually doing it for fun. I wasn't really doing it because I wanted to sell or anything like that. I was doing it for fun. I liked it. And then I noticed the more I practiced, the more I started learning and all that kind of stuff. And then people wanted stuff. And then I was like, okay. And then I just started growing little by little and everything. And then my husband was actually the one that kind of like pushed me to get a Molteno machine because I did have the space, but I just didn't want to spend the money. And he was like, "Oh, just do it. I think you're going to be really good at it because you really love it." Because what I was doing is I was doing baby onesies. Okay, I was doing baby onesies. I was doing little hand towels and stuff like that. And then I got the Molteno, so I started to grow. And I did not, even after I got my Molteno machine, I still did not really do a full blown business because I really wanted to focus and really excel. So once I really excelled the craft and I really knew how to embroider logos and all that kind of stuff, that's when I said, okay, now I'll start doing my business. And then what I did was I started going on Facebook and I started saying, okay, I have an embroidery business. I got 1 or 2 customers here. And then next thing you know, boom, everything started taking off and everything. So I was like, oh, okay. So, but I've been doing it for quite some time. I don't have Liliana's experience. She's got like 25 years doing this. She was doing embroidery before they even had like YouTube or something like that, So, I mean, she's really, really good at it. But, I think I'm pretty good. I get a lot of repeat customers. My reviews have been pretty top notch. I only had like 1 major screw up in my entire career of running an embroidery business. Totally my fault. Nothing to do with the customer. I just had to learn the hard way that you don't embroider when you're tired. Okay. That was pretty expensive, but yeah, but it worked out. you know, it all worked out in the end because I was able to donate bags and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, but that's how long I've been doing it. Let me see. Miss Max says, not having a good technician locally could be a hindrance. I didn't realize that my technician wasn't servicing my machine properly until I heard you, Jeanette. That is, yeah. And this is the other thing too, guys. This is the thing that's a little bit concerning and why it's so important to get that support as well. When you have an embroidery business, when your machine is down, you are at a work stoppage. Okay. When I have a machine that is down, I have to call Justin, and luckily Justin comes right away. He fixes it for me. I don't have a problem with that. But I have 3 machines, right? So if one machine goes down, that just means that the other 2 can pick up the slack until Justin can come and fix my 3rd machine. But you know, it's like it can really, like, it can put a damper. So if you have one machine and your machine goes down and you can't get somebody to come out and fix it, that means you're not working at all. That means your orders stop. Okay, there's nothing. So that is something that can be pretty concerning. That's why I'm like, make sure you do your homework. Make sure that you have all that very well aligned. Make sure that you maintain your machines also. And it's just like, you know, this is the other thing too. Just like I tell you guys, change your needles. Okay, don't, you know, I see people all the time. It's like they you know, they start a project, it works great, and then when they're on their 10th or 12th shirt, they're like, oh, the embroidery's looking crappy. Why? Because you didn't change your needle. You're embroidering now with a dull needle. Change it. I mean, come on. Needles are not that expensive. Buy them by the bulk, okay? Because trust me, you're going to be needing them. I change my needles every week. I change them every week. And sometimes, depending on my workload, I sometimes change them twice a week, okay? So that is 26 needles. Every time I change it, I have 26 because I have 2 10s and 1 6. Okay, so that's 26 needles. And I use them, but make sure that you change them. And also make sure you maintain these machines. I mean, do you drive your car for a whole year and not change the oil? Do you? Or do you go like 5 years and you don't change the oil or put gas in your car? Nothing. You know, well, you know, unless you're like me, I drive electric. Okay, so I don't do a oil change, and I don't drive. You know, I don't have to. Well, now I got my dad's car, so he's probably laughing at me because now he's got me doing oil changes and putting gas in the car, which was kind of funny because I forgot how the gas pumps work when I first got it. So I was like, what? Because I haven't bought gas in like 7 years. But do you know what I'm saying? That's everything requires maintenance. Okay. So if you don't take care of that machine, the machine's not going to take care of you. All right. If you just run that machine to the ground and you don't pay attention, you don't oil it. Okay. Make sure you oil that machine every time you turn on that machine. When you hit that on button, you should be automatically reaching for the oil so that you can oil that machine. Automatic. It should be automatic. Okay. If you're not oiling it, not good. You're going to mess it up. You're going to mess up that machine. You're not changing the needles. You're going to mess up your embroidery. Okay. I'm telling you, it's like, got to take care of your machines. You really do. You can't, you know, don't mess up. I'm telling you. Especially when you spend all that money on the machine, then you're not going to take care of it. Come on. I'll be like, what? Do you have money like that to throw away? No, you don't. And even if you did, why the heck would you? You know, rich people don't get rich because they throw their money away. They get rich because they know how to keep it. So learn how to keep yours. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like I tell my son, very difficult to make a coin, but very easy to spend it. Save it. I may have missed it, but what is your favorite multi-needle machine that you own? I own Brothers, but I'm not saying that it's my favorite. I'm saying that's what I own. Kathy, what I am saying is all the machines are beautiful. So you need to figure out what machine works for you. Okay. I don't push any brands. Okay. I got Brother because I like them for me. Okay. That doesn't mean it's the right machine for you. Okay. So I'm just saying, I don't push any brands. It's sometimes my thread goes under my comb embroidery spool holder stand. Any suggestions how to stop this issue? You may be putting it on wrong. If you are, because that never happens. And it could be also the positioning of your spool holder stand. Okay. Maybe you have it a little bit too close to your machine. Try putting it somewhere a little further away. I've even had some people where they actually have put the thread stand on the floor. You could try that too. It could be where you actually have it. So try putting it in different positions by the machine. Okay. Calling it early. Thank you, Jeanette, for everything. Oh, you're welcome, Jenny. Need a date night with Fred Mello. Get a refresher. Thanks, Jenny. Appreciate it. Oh, there you go. Thread spools are great to avoid threading getting under the spool. That's another suggestion that you can do. Yep. I forgot about those spool nets. Totally forgot about it. And so, let's see. Oh, do you typically use it? Okay, Andrew stitches. All right, the answer usually is they are what I normally use. However, I do not use them for small fonts and for details. Okay, it depends on the project. All right, every project's different. So, like for instance, what I just did right now on my sweatshirt with mommy and the embroidery on the thing, these are not really small fonts. So I didn't need to use a 65 needle. However, though, if these fonts were very small, or if I had a design that had some small details in there, in those situations, I not only just changed the needle size, but I also changed the weight of the thread as well. Okay. So, and I do have videos in the channel as to when I use a 65.9 needle versus a 75.11 needle. Okay. To me, it's important to know when to use what, because that really determines the quality of the work. Okay. So, but 75.11 is usually the norm, but I always say it depends on what you're embroidering. Okay. If you're, I do not recommend using that size needle or 40 weight thread for fonts or very small details, for small fonts. And when I mean for small fonts, I'm talking about fonts that are like 1/4 of an inch. Okay. Anything less than 1/2 an inch, I would go straight to a 65.9 needle. That's what I would do. Okay. That's the machine, Thomas, that I have also. I started with that as well, and I love it, and I still use it. Kathy, I got the same Brother 10 needle. You've helped me before. I thought you were in the market for a new machine. I was, and what ended up happening, Kathy, is I bought another 10 needle Brother machine. So I don't know if you see, but look, now I got two. Those are the two 10 needles. And then over here I got my my 6 needle. So I was in the market, and I was looking at other brands, but honestly, it's like I just decided I think Brother was really the best. I'm very happy with it. I know the machine. I didn't want to do a new learning curve. I didn't want to, it just, and the thing is, with what I do, Kathy, the machines work just fine for me. And this is another thing that went through my mind too. Is like sometimes some folks were telling me, hey, you can get a machine that does like 15 100 stitches per minute, you know, all these crazy speeds. And a lot of times when I'm working on some of my orders, right, depending on the design, if I have a design that has a lot of detail, I slow down the machine. I always slow down the machine because you don't want any skip stitches or anything like that. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to stick with what I know. And since I already have a whole bunch of accessories and everything with brother, um, I don't want to have to go out and buy a whole other stuff, right? So I just said, you know, I'm going to stick with this. So yeah, so Kathy, it looks like we got the same machine. What I did was I just went and I just bought another 10 needle. I was looking at, because you're right, I was in the market and I was looking at what were the machines? I was looking at ZSK, I was looking at Happy, and there was another one, Barina, and the Tashina. There were four machines that I was looking at. Some of them were up to like, the Tashina was like 30 grand for that machine. And what went through my mind was 30 grand. With 30 grand, I could buy two more brother 10 needle machines, you know, because the brother was 15 grand. And then I was like, okay, I was looking at the price, and then I don't know, I just, when I looked at it all said and done, and then I was looking at support and all that, and I was like, you know, I got that guy Justin, he comes in, he does all my machines, he knows my machines, you know. So once again, I relied on the support and stuff like that. So I was like, what I got going on right now works, so why mess with it? That's how I looked at it. Why am I gonna mess with it? Because if I bring another machine in here that's totally foreign, I gotta learn it. I gotta really learn that machine. Okay, it's gonna take time. And with the amount of orders I was getting in, I didn't have that time, and I just said, you know what? Let's just bite it, and I'm gonna stick with what I know. I'm comfortable with it. It works. I don't have any problems with it. At the time, I was thinking hats because I only had the brim hat and I only had the regular hat hoop. But when I bought the the third machine, right, the second 10 needle machine, Kathy, they threw in the wide hat frame, and the wide hat frame is the hat frame that lets you embroider from ear to ear. So I was like, oh, and they gave me the half frame along with the machine. So when I did my first one from ear to ear, I was impressed, and I was like, oh, I love that. I was like, I love that. So because that was the whole reason, honestly, that I was looking at the other brands, because I was like, I would like to embroider hats a little more professional, but it works great. It works great. So I'm happy. I'm happy with it, and I think I'm gonna stick to it. I'm good for now. I'm not getting any more machines. I think I'm good. You know. Now, of course, when you love embroidering, you see new machines, it's like looking at diamonds. You're like, oh, I want that, you know, and stuff. But nope. I'm sticking with what I have. I'm sticking with what I have and what I know and stuff. I think my son just arrived too. I just hear the door. Yep, Carlito's home. He said he was going to come home this weekend. He said he was going to come at 3. He's showing up at 10:30. I knew it. Always late. Okay, so hey Christy, hey Lucy. What causes the thread to shred or call up? Sometimes it's dryness. This is something that I use, Lucy. This works really good for me. Let me see if I have it here. I should have it here. It's called Sewer's Aid. There it is. I put this on my thread sometimes when I see that it starts to shred a lot, you know. Sometimes it could be you need to change your needle, okay? Or if the thread's dry. And if the thread's dry, I just put some of that and it works great. Hey, Carlito. You okay? Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm just gonna make sure. Just snuck by. Okay. All right. Barina is expensive. Yeah, their machines are expensive. But you know, Brothers machines are expensive too. Like I love the Luminaire. I'm in love with that flatbed machine. When I go to the sewing shop, they always have it there. And I always walk by it, but I won't touch it because I think the Luminaire is close to $20,000 for that machine. It's a lot of money. Dangerous. Yeah. Yeah, their machines, yeah. Machines can get expensive, guys. It really, really can. Well, guys, I'm going to let you guys go because my son just arrived and everything, and I want to spend a little time with him. And I think I'm gonna go out and go for a swim and stuff like that because I really need to get out of this room because I've been in here for quite some time. So I will talk to you guys later, and I hope you guys like the topic tonight and stuff, and I hope you found it interesting. I'm sorry if I let you guys down and you thought I was gonna push a brand. I'm really not. I'm not pushing any type of brand. I just want you guys to really get the machine that works for you, that is in your comfort zone, because it's like buying a car. I'm telling you, it's expensive and you really want to make the right decision for yourself. Okay. So, and I'm sure whatever machine you get, it's going to rock. Okay, guys. So I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for spending Friday with me. And I will see you guys next Friday. And I'll make sure to post more videos and stuff. I'll do another video on the mama shirt. Okay. So I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Have a good night. Have a great weekend. Bye.